like it is because of the way it happened at Alabama. We didn't know who was going to be. Now, there's two sides to this story that I'm going to tell you.
True.
I thought for sure that maybe our freshman was going to be the starter for this year, and I thought Ty Simpson was just going to be the lost man out. I really did. And the thing is that we had a similar situation in 2020, and it was between Mac Jones and Bryce Young at the beginning. Because if you look at Mac Jones, what was the last game of Mac Jones's junior season? The Iron Bowl. What did he do? He came in for Tua Tagovailoa, and he threw 3 interceptions at Auburn and caused all kinds of panic.
Yeah.
And then whenever we came back to the season for the next year, when we had Bryce Young there, 5-star, I think he was the either number 1 or number 2 prospect in the whole country. He was, very highly touted as being the guy. Everybody wanted that to happen, wanted Bryce Young to take over because Mac Jones, we saw him last year, he's not any good. But it's kind of the same thing that happened with Joe Burrow. If you look at Joe Burrow as a junior at LSU, he wasn't very good. He looked like Jarrett Stidham. But then if you look at him as his senior year, you see now the legendary Joe Burrow that passed for 1 million yards and threw for 750 touchdowns. That's the difference. And so with me, there's 2 sides to it. Man, I don't love it. I love having my QB1 ready to go, already determined. I think you've earned it over the years and be able to win it. Now, that with Florida, theirs is a different situation. Sam Levitt, you're telling me right now that Lane Kiffin is paying Sam Levitt $4 or $5 million to come and sit the bench? There's no way.
No, he's coming in there to compete and then show him what his leadership skills and his abilities are.
He didn't pay him $5 million for leadership skills. There is no way.
You got to get him in the door and see how he reacts.
Yeah, well, I think
not everybody can be Brady or Marino. I mean, look at Troy Aikman's career started. Look at how Peyton Manning's career started. They didn't start off on a great note. You can't win every single game, and hopefully you learn from not only your mistakes, but the team around you and what works and what doesn't work.
Yeah.
How many times did Peyton Manning go to the playoffs and lose in the playoffs and not realize that at some point he realized he has to keep some in the tank for the playoffs and not just give it all out in the regular season?
Yeah, of course. And, I mean, it's just that's how they do in the regular season when you look at it. And so when you think about how, Philo comes in, he wants to be the number 1 guy. Tramel Jones, he says in his mind to me, I'm thinking, he says, I am number 2 to Lagway. I'm ready to go. It's probably going to push both of these guys to really play the best football they've probably ever played in their life.
Yeah, well, I think Buster Faulkner probably is going to pick the guy who runs his offense. And we talked about size a while ago. Philo's a big dude, and he can run the rock.
See, and that's the difference. That's a big difference.
Now, we talked about whether or not we see some of the wild all receivers. If we see 4 wides, it's not going to happen. But when you get right down to it, you guys do this. You do what you do and know best.
Yes.
And what he likes to do, he likes to have obviously likes to run and pass football. But he says he'll adapt the offense to the guy that is the best player. If I had to say if somebody has an edge, I think Philo, based on the fact that he's played the system and this coach knows what he can do. I don't know. I just think he has the advantage. But I tell you, everybody I talk to that's seen Jones, I haven't seen much of him because I don't get to see practice. They really think he can really throw the football with a great touch.
Yeah.
And I love that about a player. So, by the way, what you want to do is you don't want to have competition. You just want to get Fernando Mendoza.
That's right.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, let's let him go. But you notice what he said. Did you hear what Buddy said? Buddy said he's big.
Yeah.
My ears perked up, Jeffrey, because I knew he was big. We're going to go to the Red 17's phone line. We got Big Nate on the line. Nate, how you doing today, my friend?
B to the I to the double G. Big is in the house. I'm bringing the heat now because I know what's going on. You guys are talking about controversy.
Yes.
Now, it goes a long way for talent. Yes, you can come in and burn the doors off and be talented and be there. But if you don't have the respect of the people around you, you can't get anything done.
Yeah, no, you're right. That's exactly
now,
right.
if you take an NFL perspective of this, I lived through the Russell Wilson era where we had touchdown Jesus coming out of Green Bay, a second Green Bay quarterback that was going to lead us to the promised land. And what did we get? A rookie that beat him out, and in 2 years took us to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that was Jeffrey's hero, Matt Flynn. Matt Flynn was supposed to be that
Matt
quarterback.
Flynn, you know, he was a good quarterback, but he had some philosophical differences with the coaching, I think. And the problem that you're seeing is because, like in the NFL, you can switch things up. That's fine. These are professionals. But when you're dealing with college players, especially now that the portal is involved, you don't have the time to build a camaraderie that football should prioritize over everything else on the wins and losses. I would rather lose with a group of guys that I loved, and we know that we did the best we could with what we had, than win and not know anybody. If you remember the football movie NFL Draft,
yes,
character means everything. And if you have a quarterback, you can go out there, he can make the throws, he can do the thing, but he doesn't have the team behind him, you're not going to win very many games. I'm sorry.
And that's the difference. You're right. But if we can love each other, we can play kumbaya in the closet together, whatever. But if you don't have the W's, baby, you're not going to keep your job very long. I think with these guys, if they do win the competition, I think you gather the team. I think the team follows the leader. I think they'll see the light, so to speak. They'll see the one that is leading them into the promised land. And I'm just telling you, these quarterbacks that are going for these jobs, you just hope that they support one another and they're there for each other, because just like Buddy said earlier, the season is a long season and you never know when you're going to need that second guy.
Right. And you know, Father Abraham had many sons and many sons had Father Abraham. But I'm letting you right now, there was only one Moses.
That's right. Well, Nate, as always, buddy, thank you for the call, buddy. We're about to go to a break.
Sounds good, buddy. Welcome back, by the way.
Yeah. Thank you, man. I appreciate you.
Bye.
You know, he's right. And that's the biggest thing. When you win a competition, how important is that for the team? Because then they're like, we got a guy we can follow. Even if we love the other guy, we can follow this guy. If you look right now in the NFL, the Philadelphia Eagles, they're having a big problem with the quarterback position because they say Jalen Hurts is not a locker room type of guy. And you saw the reference to how their season went this year. They didn't follow the leader. They just had a really good year the year before, and now they're having problems with quarterbacks there. So either way, when we come back, Franz Beard is going to be in the queue with us. We're going to talk Gator basketball. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Reach out and smack someone. Call or text now. 850-215-6290. The Red 7T Studio Line. Your home for college basketball. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Tomorrow night, it's number 7 Florida versus number 20 Arkansas in an SEC showdown. It's the Razorbacks' high-powered offense versus the Gators' dominant defense. Coverage starts tomorrow at 7 on your home for college basketball.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida this Friday. For tonight, some clouds and a low of 59 with a light breeze around 5 miles per hour out of the northeast. Tomorrow morning, some sun with temps around 68. In the afternoon and evening, mostly sunny with a light breeze and a temperature near 72. Moving into Sunday, the same with a high of 72 and mostly sunny. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
With over 4 decades in business, Instant Replay Sports Cards is happy to take your collection to the next level. All new hobby boxes, signed memorabilia, and supplies. New and vintage cards and Pokemon. Buy, sell, and trade. They're an authorized source for Topps, Panini, Upper Deck, and Leaf cards. Instant Replay Sports Cards inside the Stanford Station on 23rd Street next to Academy Sports. Come see the bigger store and the larger inventory, or visit online, InstantReplaySportsCards.com.
Discover Kia at Bill Bird Kia. Stop by Bill Bird Kia during the President's Day sales event going on now and drive away in a new Kia. Now offering 0% APR for up to 48 months on the purchase of a new 2025 Kia Telluride. There are a few left on the lot, so stop by for a test drive. You'll get the perfect balance of comfort, safety, and technology. The road is yours. Bill Bird Kia is the home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by and see us at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at BillBirdKiaPanamaCity.com. We'll give you the perfect peace of mind that you can trust. Offer from Kia Finance America for the purchase of a new 2025 Kia Telluride with $20.83 per month per $1,000 financed in 48 months. Quantities limited, no down payment required. Cannot combine with other finance offers. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. See dealer for complete details. Offer for well-qualified buyers must take delivery from dealer stock through 3/2/26.
WGSX Lynn Nathan W. Field, Q Port St. Joe. Powered by Panama City Toyota, ESPN Northwest Florida.
College basketball Saturday on ESPN Radio. It's a battle of ACC foes as the 11th ranked Virginia Cavaliers head to Cameron Indoor Stadium to take on the number 1 ranked Duke Blue Devils.
Evans, corner 3. He's got it. 8 minutes to go. Duke with its largest lead of the day here.
Number 11 Virginia at number 1 Duke. Coverage starts tomorrow at 10:30 on your home for college basketball.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Eat your Wheaties. It's the fastest 2 hours in sports. The Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson. Real talk for the real sports fan. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And you made it to the weekend, baby. We're so glad to have you today right here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, your spot for college basketball. Don't forget tomorrow at 11 o'clock, Duke and Virginia. And then the nightcap, number 7 Florida versus Arkansas. Tip-off is at 7:30 right here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We're pumped up about it. Game day will be there tomorrow, so it's going to be exciting. Don't forget, if you want to be a part of the show, you can be. 850-215-6290. We are joined today by Buddy Martin in the house, and we're so glad to have him. We got Jeffrey here. We got Bone Crusher here. And now we have the man. Franz Beard is on the Red 7Ts line. And you know what, friends, I'm so glad to meet you, and I'm so glad that you joined us today.
Good to be there. I love Panama City.
Well, that's wonderful. And I tell you what, as soon as you come in, I got the spot for you. Just let me know when you're coming, and we will take care of the rest, my friend.
Hey, I'll tell you what, can't beat the seafood there, can you?
Oh, no, sir. We've got one of your great friends here, Buddy Martin, and I felt this would be so appropriate for Buddy to introduce you to the listeners and the watchers on our Facebook and YouTube page. So, Buddy, introduce Franz to everyone. I'm sure a lot of people, everybody that I know, that I've talked to, they already know who he is, but I'd like for you to introduce him to the people.
How long is the show?
we got about 55 minutes.
Yeah, well, I'll give you 50 of that. I mean, Franz, for those Gator fans who've been reading him for years, they've been doing this a long time. That fine book which you just held up there, which is really a nice piece of work. He saw every play of the Gator basketball season last year.
Wow.
Covered most of the games. and is knowledgeable about college basketball as anybody I know anywhere. He happens to be our columnist and basketball writer and football writer for GatorbaitMedia.com. You can go to GatorbaitMedia.com, sign up, and read, friends. But having on the show today is special because of what's happening tomorrow. The Florida women, by the way, who we don't cover that much, they won a game last night against Ole Miss. First ranked win. Kelly Finley trying to save her job.
Yeah.
On the other end of the spectrum, you've got a guy in Todd Golden who has been really the find of the century. We're not going to make him Billy Donovan yet. But Franz will tell you, he's talked to him a lot. He follows him. This guy is an incredible coach, and Franz predicted this. He told me when they got beat, I don't have the numbers, Franz, 5 losses by 17 points, whatever it was, to Duke and Arizona and all these blue bloods. And Franz says, don't worry about it. They're still the best team in the SEC. I went, guess what? They're the best team in the SEC by a mile. Their last 5, I could read all the stats, and you've heard of most of it. I'll let Franz do it. With no further ado, let's talk to the guy who I met at the Masters one year because I needed a ride. He had an old MG with the gear that was broken, and it was a muddy day, and we slid through the grass together. Met Franz then, and we've been working together off and on for how many years, Franz?
Right now, buddy, I would say it's 53 years.
Oh, wow.
Gonna get it right soon. Well, welcome to the show. I'm really impressed with these guys in this place. And tomorrow, talk about what's important tomorrow. This basketball team's on a mission. This is the game they all talked about that they probably had to get past Arkansas and John Calipari. And they've got a terrific young player. And Florida's had a couple too. Talk to me about that game tomorrow and what it means and where this team has come from to get to be number 7 in the country.
Well, this game, if Florida wins, Florida is the SEC champ.
Yeah.
No matter what happens the last 2 games. But you got to remember something. They also have Mississippi State coming up next week. And the way Mississippi State's playing, that's almost a gimme game.
Yeah.
So Florida right now is 13-2. At 14-4, Florida wins the SEC, and as long as they beat Arkansas, because Arkansas is the only team that can beat them. Right now, they've got the head-to-head with Alabama, so it doesn't matter what Alabama does the rest of the way. Although I do believe Alabama will be beaten tomorrow in Knoxville by Tennessee. Tennessee is really scrambling and they're trying to hold on to like about a number 5 seed there in the NCAA brackets. And a loss might slide them back, particularly since they'll pick up a loss somewhere along the line of the SEC tournament, you got to figure. So this is an important game for Florida. You win it, you win the SEC outright, no matter what. You don't need any help from anybody else. It'll be Arkansas's 5th loss, and Florida will be at 14-2. Impossible to have 5 SEC losses. So it's big, and not only do you win the SEC, it's big to win it in dominating fashion, buddy. You've been around a long time. You've seen a lot of basketball, and you know how it goes. When you win in dominating fashion, it sends a message to everybody. Look out, the big bad Gators, for example, are on their way. But and that's what you got. It's a chance not only for Florida to win the SEC, it is a chance for the Gators to make a true statement, and I think that's what's on the line.
Let me ask you this, friends. When you look at this team and compare them to last year, obviously the strong guard play, which you've got to have in the NCAA tournament, but when you look at this team, it's a little bit of a different team, a different style. The paint defense, that's to me one of the biggest things that Florida just is, it really offsets the other teams that they're going to see, the Michigans, the Arizonas, the Dukes, because of the way they play defense in the paint and how they can pass the ball with their big men and get them involved. How do you compare these two teams from last year to this year?
Well, it's apples and oranges in one respect, because last year we overlooked the inside game because the outside game was so good. You have 3 guys that are NBA guys right now in Walter Clayton Jr., Will Richard, and Elijah Martin. So it was a different type of, but the shift this year has gone to the front court. Florida has the best 4 big guys in the country.
Yeah, I agree.
As a collection. They may not have the best single one, although that could be argued too, because when Ruben wakes up he's been in a little bit of a coma the last couple games, but when Ruben Chinyelu wakes up, he is suddenly a dominating guy. And Alex Condon has played 3 games probably as brilliantly as any big guy in the country. Yeah. And then you throw in Tommy Hawk, who I think it will be a travesty if he's not the SEC Player of the Year. What a front line. You come off the bench with Micah Hanlockton, 7'1", maybe even 7'2", who played overlooked against Texas, where Florida, as you were pointing about paint defense, Florida only blocked 11 shots against Texas.
Almost all the second half.
8 of them were in the second half, 3 in the first. But you look at it, and you had 2 from Ruben, 4 from Alex, 2 from Ruben, 2 from Tommy Hawk, 2 from Isaiah Brown. That's another guy that's overlooked a bit. But I don't know anybody in the SEC who jumps as high as that guy. So it's a different team, and the makeup's different. And everybody's been saying all year, okay, yeah, they got the great inside game, but what happens when somebody makes them shoot outside shots? We've been wondering that all year, but here's a little stat that nobody understands. Did you know that Florida has made more 3-pointers than any team they've played all year?
Wow.
They have. I've told Buddy on Buddy's show several times, when Florida shoots a 3, it's almost like an assist. They ought to give an assist because one of the big guys just gets and puts it back in. But now, all of a sudden, the guys are hitting shots. In the last 5 ball games, for example, Xavier Lee, who couldn't throw it in the 3-point ocean from the end of the pier earlier in the year. He's 11 for his last 26. That's 43%. Boogie Fland, who couldn't find Antarctica if he was standing on the South Pole.
He's tall.
He's hit 5 out of 6. And here's what's interesting about this. It's not like all of a sudden these guys, everybody, even blind hogs find a squirrel or whatever.
Acorn,
that's what it is. It's not that case. These guys, I know these guys, and they tell me, like Ruben, Tommy Hawk, and Micah, they tell me that Boogie and Xavier Lee hit 3s all the time in practice. So it's just a matter of them snapping out of slump. It's kind of like a hitter in baseball, for reasons we don't know. They strike out a lot, and then all of a sudden they hit a home run and you can't get them out.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like that for these guys. And then you come off the bench with what I call lethal weapon 3.
Urban Klazvar.
Oh, yeah. Have you guys ever seen a guy that every time he shoots the ball, you think it's going in?
No.
I mean, this guy, his shot is so pretty and so perfect. His release is so good that every single time he shoots the ball, it's kind of like it kind of reminds me of Larry Bird. Larry Bird would trash talk and tell people, I'm shooting this one, taking 2 dribbles to the right, I'm shooting this one, it's going in. And he'd shoot it, and he wouldn't even turn around and wait to see it go through the net. He'd just turn around and head the other way. It gives you that same kind of feeling when this kid shoots the ball. You have a weapon like that, and all of a sudden, things look a whole lot different. Now, I'm going to throw a strat at you now for Florida's last 5 ball games. Last 5 ball games, Florida is 44 for 113 from the 3-point line. That's 38.9%. That's really good.
That's fantastic.
3-point shooter. Todd has said all along, he said, if we ever get to a point where we're hitting somewhere between 30 and 33% from three, we're going to be a really dangerous team. Well, I'd say that they may have turned that corner.
Who do you think is most improved on the season? Is it Lee, Condon, or Fland?
Some would say Condon, but they're missing the point that Alex has had a lot of good ball games. He just kind of had a slump in the middle.
His only problem is he turns over the ball.
Sometimes he does, but by golly, and the reason he turns it over most of the time is because he's making a breakout, he gets a rebound, and he's putting the ball on the deck. He's going to lead the break himself. Or he makes a pass, and he sees the opening, and the guy who's supposed to catch the ball says, "Oh, what? You were throwing it to me? Oh, what a concept." But the ball went out of bounds, of course. He makes those kind of turnovers. He doesn't make stupid turnovers. And that's what I'd say to anybody who says he makes too many. He doesn't make stupid turnovers. Mm-hmm. The guy I would say who's really made the most improvement is Xavier Lee. And the reason I say that is because Boogie's defense has been there all along. He has been a lights-out defender. Everybody says Ruben Chinyalu is the defensive player of the year.
I think so.
Well, and I got to admit, there's nobody who can do it like that. But giving him a run for the money, I got to tell you what, is that guy on the perimeter, Boogie Fland, had 8 steals against Alabama. And you look at what he did. He gets on the people at Texas, and they had a great first half. He got locked down in the second half.
Yeah.
You look at what he did there at Ole Miss, locked them down. I mean, he's just got this ability to rise to the occasion defensively, and I think he is the quickest guard. I think he's the quickest guard in the country. Dribbling the ball from one end of the court to the other, I don't think there's another guard in the country that can stay with him without the ball. I don't think there's anybody can run the same speed that he does, dribbling the ball without it. I've seen 2 other guys that could do that in my life. One of them was a guy named Phil Ford, 2-time NCAA Player of the Year at North Carolina, and the other one was Casey Hill, who was at Florida. Casey Hill, I never get sitting there with Roy Williams at the Peach Jam and talking about Casey Hill, and I said, he may be the quickest guard I've seen since Phil. And Roy said, he ain't as quick as Phil, but he's close. And this kid, I think, is right up there with him. He may be quicker than both of them.
I don't want to take up their show the whole hour. I'm going to ask a quick question, get out, and that the guy who runs the show take over here. His name is Wilson. No, he's not a volleyball, by the way. He's a real guy. The other night, they had a problem. A rare night when Tommy Hoff wasn't playing. Like, I love Tommy Hoff. I love watching Tommy Hoff.
Yeah.
I'm writing a column about that on Sunday or this week. All the things I love about Tommy Hoff. He can create his own shots. He can block a shot. He can get an open three. He can defend. He can block. He's just a wonderful. No wonder UConn's coach said he loved watching him play.
Yeah.
He's special. On a night when Tommy Hoff had an off night, and Ruben Chinyalu, who was not dominant, all of a sudden you got Alex Condon, and you mentioned him. What an incredible night. Another 20-point game, 3 straight really good games. And the play I want to talk about real quick is the block shot. He comes down with the ball, takes the ball on as a break, like it's a point center, as somebody called, and throws an alley-oop down to Tommy Hoff on the other end for the jam. It was a beautiful play.
Yeah, I saw it. That was great.
And I love that kind of basketball. I love the grace with which he runs. This guy's 7 foot, running the floor like a guard.
Yeah.
So that's good stuff. I enjoyed that. So I'll get off here and say, Franz, I want to be sure to talk about that golden season and the book that you wrote that's out there now for sale here. You can go online and get it at Spurs.com. And you did a fabulous job on it. And just talk a little bit about your experience there, and I'll let the man that runs the show take over.
Well, writing the book was, let me just say, that book rescued me, buddy. You know what happened happened in my life in the last year, losing both my stepfather and my mom. But the last year,
and your pride and joy to parent that you've been there with for 40 years, and Ralphie.
31 years. Ralphie was on my shoulder. Ralphie was Yellow Color McCall was my editor.
Wow.
Sit on my shoulder the whole ball. You know, during ball games, I'm watching them on TV in front of the computer. Thought I was mom. I had Ralphie since when I took Ralphie home 7 weeks old, and never knew another mom except me, and passed away suddenly the day after Christmas. And so there was a lot of emotional trauma, and I really and truly buried myself in that basketball team, and it was uplifting. These guys uplifted me, and a lot of them never knew what was going on in my life, but they knew that they knew I cared about them, people, not just basketball players. I cared about them as people, and that's one thing that that's something I can say I learned from a couple of mentors of mine, one of which was the late, great Jack Harston, and another one, this guy sitting there with you named Buddy Martin.
Mm-hmm.
But these guys, Jack Harston, the first thing he told me was, your job is to get the story because everybody already knows the score by the time you write it. And he said the story is rarely the score. The story is the people within it. And I've discovered through the years, nobody writes people better than Buddy Martin. Truly. I mean, talk about a guy that can really and truly get to the core of who people are and write about them, and that's Buddy. And I've learned from him. And the cool thing about writing is, we're all a bunch of thieves. We read somebody else and we steal from them. I learned about humor from Dan Jenkins. I read a book called Semi-Tough, and then I wrote his non-football book, The Limo, which I have my pride and joy, a signed copy by Dan. But I've got these brilliant, beautiful books like that. And I learned from him about injecting a sense of humor into it. And in writing this book, I got to tell you something. I learned so much about keeping it personal and yet at the same time professional, because it was the guys that made it happen. You look, Walter Clayton Jr. Gets hurt at Tennessee. They have to play at Vanderbilt the next game without him. No problem. They have to go up to Auburn. Elijah Martin is hurt. They have to, and the Auburn's number one in the country. No problem. Condon and Sam Alexis, who no longer is with the program, both get hurt at Mississippi State. No problem.
It's a wonderful story. All that's a wonderful story, friends. Congratulations. I'm sorry if I interrupt you. But it's a wonderful story, and I want to tell people, number one, they got one to give away here for some way or the other, which somehow by hook or crook, they got a book. I don't know how they got that exactly. And secondly, you can order them online. Go to spurriers.com/shop. You'll find out you get autographed copies. And we did do a signing here a couple of months ago, which we'd have been known about at the time.
Yeah.
A lot of people came out from the Gator Club and bought books, and Franz was here making a personal appearance. So thank you, Franz, for all that. I'm excited about tomorrow. It's going to be a terrific game, and you'll write it well as you always do, Franz Beard.
Well, thank you so much. I'm looking forward to this ball game. And I got to tell you what, if you're a basketball fan, tune on to Fox tonight, because you got number 3 Michigan at number 10 Illinois. I'm going to make a prediction right now. Illinois is going to win the ball.
What? Oh, man. Well, friends, we sure do appreciate it, and I sure hope that we will stay in contact and be able to talk. We are going to give away here in just a moment. We got a big prize pack, but the prize is your book that we're going to be giving away. So we appreciate you and all that you've done, and thank you so much for coming on today, and definitely if we could get you back on definitely during the tournament, that would be wonderful.
He's going to be there.
You got my number. I'm with anytime you need me.
All right, well, thank you so much. Franz Beard, everyone, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
See you, Francis.
When we come back, we are going to give away the prize pack, and we're going to talk a little bit more about some of these Gators running, jumping in the NFL Combine. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Call in now.
This is Touchstone Service.
The Red 70s studio line is open.
Demonstrate how to make a call with your dial telephone.
850-215-6290. ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the Coach James Hale Show.
And I told Cooper this, too. I said, listen, let me break it down for you. This was important in his decision. I said, there's 40,000 students at the University of Florida. Say half of them, of the 20,000, are ugly. That's still 10,000 beautiful women your age within close proximity. He said, sign me up.
Weekday morning, 7 to 9. ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida this Friday. For tonight, some clouds and a low of 59 with a light breeze around 5 miles per hour out of the northeast. Tomorrow morning, some sun with temps around 68. In the afternoon and evening, mostly sunny with a light breeze and a temperature near 72. Moving into Sunday, the same with a high of 72 and mostly sunny. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5 and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
Find something you love with great deals this month at Panama City Toyota. Get 1.99% APR on a new Camry, rated best midsize car by Kelley Blue Book. Plus, 90 days until you make your first payment. Get 2.49% APR on the Rocket Tacoma. Plus, 90 days until your first payment. And get 2.49% APR on the powerful Tundra. Plus, 90 days until your first payment. Come check out our showroom or browse online at Panama City Toyota.
Offer expires March 2nd. For details, visit PanamaCityToyota.com.
The Gator Boys are back.
Florida will cut down the nets. Winners of the national championship.
And ready to defend their national title.
The rack. Layup good and one. Up the rim. Alley-oop dunk. Smashed down by Condon. Oh, yes, sir. It's the foul line extended. Raises for three. Bang, he got it to the rack. Dunks it with two hands.
On your home for Florida basketball.
It's Florida versus Arkansas tomorrow night.
Coverage starts at 7 on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Pound the like and crush the subscribe. Follow us on social media for the latest sports news, scores, and updates. Keeping you in the game. The new Sports Blitz on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, your spot for college basketball. Don't forget Duke and Virginia in the morning at 11 right here on 104.3. But the one you need to watch and listen to is number 7 Florida versus Arkansas. Tip-off 7:30 tomorrow night, 104.3 ESPN, your spot for Florida Gator basketball. Don't forget, if you want to call in, you can. 850-215-6290. We are going to be giving away a prize pack. And let me just tell you what the prize pack is. $25 Lone Star Boyle House gift card, $25 That Boot Store, 30 days free membership, Anytime Fitness, a 12-pack of Buffalo Rock of your choice, and Franz Beard's book, the one we just was talking about, The Golden Season. Now, let me tell you something. It's about last year's team, but man, it's one of those books, and I've got it right here with me. It's one of those books that tells a story of the whole season, but what's cool about it is that in the middle of it, I mean, right in the middle of it, it's a beautiful colored pictures. It's definitely something that you would want to read, but it's also one of those keepsake things that you can get here today.
Chris Spears does a great job. He took all those pictures. He's a fantastic photographer.
So it's just right there. So we are going to give it away. You know what, Jeffrey, I'm going to let you pick the number. What number are we going with today? What caller number are we going with?
You know, I hate to say the number 4. Because
Number 4?
Yeah, because I'm not going to say it.
Okay, good.
I'm going to say 8 because 4, I think, is how many titles that the Gators basketball has.
Right.
I believe. So let's go with double that. Let's go 8.
Let's go 8. So caller number 8 right now, starting right now, you're going to win a $25 Boyle House gift card, that boot store.
Wow.
30-day Anytime Fitness, 12-pack of Buffalo
all that
Rock.
stuff.
And a book.
Hardback
book.
Yeah.
From the Golden
Quality
Season.
made.
Franz Beard. Okay, let me just tell you guys real quick while we're waiting on the call. But I went to school with a guy named Franz, and he spelled it the same way. So I've always said Franz, and so it just tore me up.
No, you know what it is? It's Hans and Franz you're thinking about.
Well, and that's what we were talking about before. We were calling you Hans and him Franz, and you guys are going to pump us up today.
Look at the paper. Like, that stock is like, this is quality paper. This is quality made book.
You know what? Thank you for that.
Yeah.
I'm really proud of that. That's my partner, Carlton Reese, did all that.
Yeah.
We published that book ourselves.
Yeah. Wow.
We paid to have it printed.
Yep.
And hopefully we won't lose money on the book. It's a well-received book, but, marketing is a whole other deal. Thank you. It's a good book, and it's a great gift.
Yeah.
And if you're lucky enough, maybe we'll do another signing before the year's
Absolutely.
over. People come, you can get enough special pricing. What great gifts it would make for your Gator fans. So anyway,
all the Gator fans, for sure.
I'm sorry but I'm proud of it.
No, and you should be. Let me just say this too. You were talking about, I can't remember what your wording was about how it wasn't Condon. Who was you talking about?
Thomas Hoff.
Yeah, Thomas Hoff. And you were saying you couldn't count the ways. What was that word? What did you say? You how many words you could use to describe him, and you could just talk about him?
Just because he represents everything I love about an athlete, and he has great passion. He loved Tim Tebow. Mm-hmm. He had a logo in the 8th grade on his books. He's from up north, and he's always loved the Gators. And he came here because he loved the Gators. If you've watched him play, he's got everything, man.
Yeah.
He can do it all. He's just so much fun. I keep drawing a blank on the coach's name at UConn. I know it well. His brother
Hurley.
Hurley. Because I always saw his brother play a lot. But anyway, he's kind of a nasty guy. He melts when he talks about watching Thomas Hoff. He thinks he's so much fun to watch. He plays the game right. There's a certain grace and beauty, and I don't want to say ballet, but you know where I'm going to watch this guy. And I say to myself, we're watching these bunch of 7-footers run the court like they're ballet dancers, and this guy, Thomas Hoff, can shoot threes. He can take it to the rack. He can do all kind of things.
But there's another thing. It's not just the speed that those tall guys run at. It's the ball handling. That's what's just crazy to me. I can't even understand how these guys are 6'11", and they dribble the ball better than a 6-footer.
Point center, the guy called me the other night.
Yeah.
All right, so here we go. We got a caller on the line right now. We've got David on the line. David, are you there, my friend?
Yes, sir. How y'all doing?
We are doing fantastic. David, you are the 8th caller, and you have won yourself a $25 Lone Star Boyle House gift card, a $25 That Boot Store gift card, 30 days at Anytime Fitness, which me and Jeffrey both need, and a 12-pack of Buffalo Rock, and Franz Beard's book, hardback book, The Golden Season. And so congratulations on your win. And are you a Gator fan, by the way?
I am a diehard Gator fan.
Well, good. There you go,
fantastic.
man. You scored, man. You scored.
Well, that's great. Now
It's great to be a Florida Gator.
That's right. Well, we're going to do it the old school way. I know we do this all the time. We say this all the time. But, David, tell us, where can you get the best prize packs in the Panhandle?
ESPN, Panama City.
That's right. Well, David, thank you so much, man. We appreciate it. Bone Crusher is going to keep you on the line and take care of the preliminaries for you. Thanks again for calling in, and thank you for listening.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, we've talked about earlier this week about Duke, right?
Yeah.
Basketball. Mm-hmm. Okay. And they get players from up north.
Yeah.
I mean, the three guys that I named, Lee, Fland, and Condon, these guys are from Perth, Australia, Canada, and the Bronx, New York.
There you go.
Yeah.
And you got all these other players from all over the place. Yeah. So the brand recognition for the Gators isn't just football. It's basketball. It's baseball. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's everywhere. And that's the thing. And where I was going with the admiration of this player, you know, one day, buddy, I hope you say those things about me.
I hope I do too.
I hope that the star and the excitement in your eye, that's what I attest to be one day.
I tell you,
you ran like a gazelle.
You know, I have a lot of respect for you, what you're doing. You know that.
Thank you.
And I've told you that. And I love what you do. Keep it up. Keep Jeff on the right path.
I got to hold him down a little bit.
Don't let him go stray off.
Someplace. I don't. But, you know, as Franz was telling us about him and his parrot, I kind of saw the similarities with me and Jeff. He's kind of like my parrot that sits on my shoulder.
There you go.
Yeah, shut up.
There you
go. But realistically, I appreciate you being here. Obviously, you're going to stay, but I just wanted to tell you that I appreciate it.
Thanks for inviting me. I love it. I didn't have this in mind when we decided to go to lunch, and you said, "Would you mind coming on the show or something?" I said, "I'll be glad to."
Yeah, and I appreciate that. It's been great. We've been talking about, you know, let's switch gears a little bit, talk about this NFL Combine. The quarterbacks came in today, but I don't know if you saw it yesterday, but Caleb Banks, the defensive tackle for the Florida Gators, man, he
tearing it up.
He was so fast to me. I mean, and he was like, I think he was at 5.
Oh, no, it's faster than that.
I thought he was a 5'2".
Oh, no, I thought he was faster than that. I believe he was.
Okay, so, but either way.
He's turning it up.
Just going out there, that guy, to me, reminds me a lot of Chris Jones of the Kansas City Chiefs. And he can do some of the same things that he does as long as he keeps his mind focused. You know, he was involved in the spitting. He did it one time, had a penalty, whatever.
I hate that.
Yeah, just a bad look for him, for the program at the time. But I think he's going to erase some of that. I think he kind of sees the light at the end of the tunnel.
He kind of redeemed himself at the Senior Bowl.
Yeah, looked really good. So I think he's one of those players. But talking about the quarterbacks, you know, it was asked today. Francisco Mendoza, they asked him, how do you feel about the Raiders? And his response was, I would love to get mentored by Tom Brady. Now, Jeff, we've talked about it in depth. I'm not so sure Tom Brady's going to be so hands-on. I don't think. I think these guys, you know, they want to. You know, when you're a part of an organization, you want those guys to come in and take you under their wing and basically show you what they know. But realistically, it was not. I don't think Brady's going to be that kind of guy. I think Brady's going to be, you know, how you doing? Good to see you. You know, but to sit there and go through tape with you.
No, he's not going to go through tape.
Or to mentor you. I think Francisco Mendoza is probably not going to be. I don't think he's.
I agree.
I don't think he's going to do that.
Well, he's not going to go over tape with him, but I think when he sees him and he sees that there's opportunities to change things or make things better, he's going to give them those words of wisdom because he has that. And I mean, I've had bosses 20, 25 years ago who gave me certain amount of words and sentences, and they left an impression on me because I learned from them. And that's what mentors do. They don't have to be a coach. All they have to do is tell you how to get better.
Yeah, and I agree. Another quarterback that was there today that was getting a lot of talk was Ty Simpson. And again, it looks like Ty Simpson's going to be the second quarterback taken
will he be
in the
a
draft.
First rounder? There's a lot of talk about that, whether he will or not.
I don't know.
He's at the bottom of the first, they're fat, and then
it's a Steeler. It's a Steeler. I mean, do you think it's a reach? I do. Alabama fan here. I think it's a reach.
Based on what I know about it and having seen him play college football and knowing the complexity of the NFL, I think it'd be a reach for him to. Now, if he wants to sit for a couple of years, fine. But I don't know.
But do you waste your first round pick for a sitter?
No.
I just don't see it.
No, I agree with you.
And that's what I think too. When you look at him, I think he's going to be one of those guys. Let me just say this. I want to talk about Recommended Collision Center. They are the spot for all things for your vehicle. You want your vehicle taken care of? Recommended Collision Center. You need advice about your vehicle? Recommended Collision Center. You need an estimate? Recommended Collision Center. Brandon and those guys are top notch. They're local. They'll do you just like, one thing that he says that's so impressive to me is like he always brings up, I treat you like family. I want you to understand that when you bring your vehicle here, I'm going to give you the honest answer. I'm going to tell you, if it's expensive, I'm going to tell you it's expensive. If it's not as expensive and we can get, a quality job done for a cheaper price, yes, we'll do that too. But there's always options with them, and they're honest, and they're local, and they'll take care of you. So make sure you check them out. They're on Jinx Avenue, Recommended Collision Center. You can see them online. You can see them on Facebook, and Brandon comes in on Wednesdays as well. So either way, we want to do that. When we come back, we are going to talk about our interview today that we had with Urban Meyer. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
The Red 7T studio line is now open.
I think this entire audience is on medication.
850-215-6290. Your home for college basketball. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Tomorrow night, it's number 7 Florida versus number 20 Arkansas in an SEC showdown. It's the Razorbacks' high-powered offense versus the Gators' dominant defense. Coverage starts tomorrow at 7 on your home for college basketball.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Count it on the 3.
Crawfish season is back, and the heat is on at Lone Star Boil House. Lone Star Boil House is where the locals go for delicious, mouth-watering Cajun crawfish, shrimp, buttery red royals, and everything crab. Plus, Lone Star Boil House is now serving liquor. Get crawfish 6 days a week, open to close. To-go crawfish also available at the front bar, and crush the follow on Facebook for frequent food and drink specials. Lone Star Boil House, 320 West 5th Street, downtown Panama City.
Think your season's over? Let's turn your off-season back on. Hoops is heating up on Hard Rock Bet, Florida's only legal way to bet the NBA. So you can bet on teams, star players, and more. With games practically every day, there's always something to parlay. Roll with Hard Rock Bet all NBA season. New users get paid double winnings on your first 10 bets. Max bet of $50 per bet. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, please call 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
Your goals matter, and at Anytime Fitness Panama City, they're ready to help you crush them. With expert coaching, personal training, and virtual workouts through the Anytime Fitness app, you'll have all the support you need inside the club and beyond. Limited time only. Join today for just $1 down and start your fitness journey now. Don't wait. Visit 107 West 23rd Street, Suite W8, or call 850-818-8184. Anytime Fitness. Let's make healthy happen.
College basketball Saturday on ESPN Radio. It's a battle of ACC foes as the 11th ranked Virginia Cavaliers head to Cameron Indoor Stadium to take on the number 1 ranked Duke Blue Devils.
Evans, corner 3. He's got it. 8 minutes to go. Duke with its largest lead of the day here.
Number 11 Virginia at number 1 Duke. Coverage starts tomorrow at 10:30 on your home for college basketball.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Get off the sidelines.
This is where your life finally comes together.
And into the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson. Exclusively on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, your spot for Duke versus Virginia tomorrow at 11. And then you got the nightcap, the Gators versus those old dirty Razorbacks. 7:30 tomorrow night. Don't forget. Also, don't forget, if you want to, you can log in on the ESPN Northwest Florida app. You can crush the enter contest. And with that saying, last day to enter. This is it. Win subs, chips, and a drink for you and 3 guests. That's right, 4 people at Jersey Mike's on 23rd Street. So enter by downloading the ESPN Northwest Florida app for your Android or Apple and click the contest button, and you can enter yourself to win that as well. Also, don't forget, you can call in, text in on the Red 70s phone line, 850-215-6290. You know, we had a great interview. I've got the great Buddy Martin with me. Jeffrey's here. Bone Crusher's here. We got to interview Urban Meyer today, and one of the things that I got to talk to him about is someone that's on the show. You're familiar with him as well. Friend of yours is Stephen Harris. What I thought was such a great deal is I was telling Coach Meyer how that Stephen comes on our show and he's a big help and we love him and all of that. And Coach Meyer, you could tell he loves him. He said, Stephen went through a time where he had a little bit of, didn't have confidence. And so Urban Meyer, the head football coach of the Florida Gators, went to his apartment and had a conversation with him. And basically he said the rest was history.
Talked him out of quitting.
Yeah. And the thing is that Stephen just didn't, he not only didn't quit, but helped that team win the national title.
No doubt about it. They had about 4 guys like that who were like on the bubble.
Yes.
Almost out. A couple of guys had been a lot of games they'd missed. And most people would have thrown them on the garbage heap.
Yeah.
Urban sorted them away, kept them around. People said, well, he maybe uses his players. No, it's part of the reparations, part of the process. You can get back in good graces if you do the right things with Urban.
Right.
And I asked one of his lieutenants one time, this guy was banished from the team. I said, can he ever get back? And he said, well, I'll put it like this. He's in Hawaii with a canoe with one oar. Mm-hmm. But if he gets back, great, But, no, I mean, I think Stephen was a real big part of that whole game that night and the national championship game. And Urban loves him with the reason because he cares about the Gators. He gives it all.
Yeah.
And so I hear him every now and then on the show, and it's great to hear him. And I know he's a happy camper right now.
Oh, yeah. And the one thing that he said, I love him. And then he said at the end, he's my brother. And I just thought, man, what a way to be with your players. And that's why I'm starting to believe, Jeffrey, we talked about it early on. I'm not so sure. I'm not sure about Summerall. I'm not sure what he's going to be able to do coming from the Sun Belt. We have already seen Sun Belt Billy. Now are we going to see Sun Belt John? But I'm starting to hear from the people that know what they're talking about with Florida Gator football. Hearing from Coach Meyer, hearing from from Buddy Martin, hearing from Stephen Harris, all of these people seeing him, watching him. I'm starting to believe. I'm starting to believe that these Gators are really going to do the things that everybody's saying. But hearing what Coach Meyer said about what the fans, and I know I shared this in the first segment of the first hour, but I wanted to share this again. My question to Coach Meyer is what is the expectation? Do we give, Coach Summerall, do we give him some time? Do we give him some time to turn the ship? How many wins are we looking for? Is it 6? Is it 7? Is it 8? What are we looking for? And Buddy, you were there. Sternly, he looked into the camera and said, we're not given anything. We're here to win football games, and we're here to turn the ship now. And the Gator football nation should not lower its expectations for this team. And he said, I looked John Summerall in the eye, and I told him the way you keep your job, the way you keep people happy is if you win football games. And it as simple as that may sound to some people, I was astounded because I was thinking with all of that was in me that Urban Meyer was going to say, Paul, we're going to take about 6 or 7 wins, and we're just going to, we're going to climb this mountain. We're going to take our time. We're going to believe in our coach and all of that. But he didn't. He said, today's the day we turn it around, and John knows that he must do that to be able to be successful as a Gator.
Now, he didn't say we're going to play complimentary football. Oh, wait a minute. That was Billy. Yeah. No. I'm so tired of that phrase. No, you're right.
The problem is Napier didn't want to give you the answer because it wasn't the answer you were looking for. And that's the reason why he didn't give it to you.
Didn't want you to know about his team. He didn't want you to know anything about his team.
Yeah.
He was hiding it out.
Yeah.
He didn't want you to.
Well, there's a reason why he's hiding it. They weren't winners.
Well, yeah, I mean, which came first? I mean, anyway, I hate to keep referring to him, but that's the last thing we knew. That's the standard we've been living with around here.
Yeah.
And who else do you blame? The man who had the job,
yeah,
the chance to change it, and so, and I don't think it'll happen if John Summerall didn't get it done, he'll be gone.
Right. The other thing that I shared in the earlier segment is that Coach Urban Meyer said that he had went to the Swamp. And he said it was like a country club. He said it was just, it was almost like Oxford. It was just like hanging out. Everybody was there, all that. But he said the Swamp doesn't need to be a country club. The Swamp needs to be an inferno. And correct me if I'm wrong. Whenever he started, I know he had. I made a joke with him about, I hope that this interview doesn't mess up his tea time because he had his gloves. Yeah. He had his gloves in his hand. Yeah. But as he started talking, he started moving his hands. He started moving his hands. He said, no longer is the Swamp going to be a country club, but it's going to be an inferno, which means fired up, and ready to go. And that's the thing. I'm actually getting excited because, you know as well as I do, a lot of Gator fans listen to this show, a lot of watch on Facebook, comment, and they're blowing it up right now. And that's the biggest thing. The basketball thing is great. It's going awesome. But these Florida Gator fans, they want both. I mean, they've been blessed to have such, success of two programs, a basketball program that's won back-to-back champions and a football that's won back-to-back champions. I mean, that's the deal. That's what they want. They love it. And they're excited. Don't get me wrong. Todd Golden's doing a fantastic job. They love Todd Golden. Todd Golden for president, right? But they are ready for this football team to be back. And if these Gators can get back, you're talking about seeing the chomp. We don't. I'm older now and I don't really work out, but you get that arm doing this a lot, man. Them shoulders start getting big again. You start toning up and start getting those Gator fans ready. I mean, you're going to see the high school kids start doing the chomp when they make a tackle, and you're going to start seeing people walking around doing the chomp so much. And Jeffrey, I'm sorry to tell you, but if you see the chomp going, that means they're coming after those LSU Tigers.
Well, guess what? We're not playing them.
That's what I think. Let's go drop Tennessee and LSU. That's just great. Let's get rid of all the good traditional games we can. Yeah. That's another story. But
the LSU and Florida rivalry.
It's a great rivalry.
Football is almost dead even. It keeps on going back and forth. Nobody's really dominating. Y'all own Tennessee. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You do. Kentucky. Sorry again.
Not lately.
You own them.
Tennessee's beat them.
They beat you like three times in the last 4 or 5 years.
Three of the last 4.
But before that, you win like 29 in a row. It's crazy.
Yeah, but you can't live on that forever.
Yeah,
I mean, I hear what you're saying. I think what you're saying is spot on. Look, we haven't talked about Coach Spurrier. He told me a long time ago, you can win now.
Yeah.
You don't have to wait a year. You can get a quarterback, you go to the portal, whatever, and I love this fact. Whereas Billy Hardy never looked at the portal.
Yeah.
This guy lives in the portal. Summerall knows the portal. He's knocking it out of the park, and he saved his top 5 players. The 5 games, and he kept them. So, I think it's very positive. We'll take it as it goes. We don't know. Let's don't get ahead of ourselves. They still got to play the games.
Yeah, and that's the thing. When you look at being able to, what's the one thing, and when you asked the question about the SEC, about John Summerall, the other thing that Coach Meyer said is that you've got to win in the trenches. He said that the SEC is always going to be won in the trenches, and that's it. And he said it forever will be. And what did the Gators go out and do? What did John Summerall do? He made sure he kept Jaden Ball.
Yep.
And that was the huge piece of them being able to do it. Now, you got Dallas Wilson. You got the other wide receiver that you were referring to earlier. Singletary or
Singleton Jr.
Singleton Jr. He's going to be phenomenal. Wilson's going to be phenomenal. And then having Jaden Ball to be able to run the ball. So realistically, if that quarterback position really figures it out whenever the competition happens, they're going to have the things that you have to have for success. Because the fact was that the defense was really good last year. They kept them in most of their games. It was just like Auburn. The defense was really good. The offense was where the problem was, and that was the deal. But when you get an opportunity to be able to throw the football to these guys and be able to run with Jordan Bond, be able to control the line of scrimmage, that's where you're going to see Florida really being able to impose their will on people, and then that'll be seeing where you can see you got the old Florida Gator football coming back.
On the portal, it's almost all offense. I mean, they got a couple of defensive backs.
Yes.
But otherwise, it's all offense, and that's what they needed because you can't score 10 on LSU and expect to win. But let me tell you about recent bias. 4 and 8 year. That's what everybody's remembering.
Yeah.
But you know what? The October and November before, you beat Ole Miss. Right?
Right.
And so the difference between 2024 and 2025 is 1 year. Difference between 25 and now 26
is 1 year. Yeah.
You could be right back. And a lot of people are thinking, oh, fourth game, you play Ole Miss, you're going to lose. No, guess what? 2 years ago, you beat them. And guess where the game was at?
The swamp.
It was in the swamp.
Yeah.
Yeah, real quick point on Summerall. I know we're out of time. And I want to say he made this point several times that he wants players who love the University of Florida and are tough.
Yeah.
He emphasized the toughness. And the thing that was telling was he went down to we're lifted with the team, did dead weights. And he was able to do dead weight lifts that the players were doing.
Wow.
That's how bad they were. Now, I'm not an expert on this stuff, but that ain't good. And he says over 2 weeks, he's noticed an improvement in that. So they're not big enough and physical enough yet. They'll get stronger. I think that with the new strength and conditioning coach, will get it done. This guy wants them tough. He wants them to love to be there. I think he's going to. That's what his standard is. He wants to win.
And when you look at what Coach Spurrier said, that's so true. And all you got to do is look at the last national championship. Look at what Cignetti did. He didn't wait. He didn't say, well, let's just wait around. Let's turn the ship. Let's make Indiana a football school instead of a basketball school. No, he said we're going to get people out of the portal. We're going to start them. We're going to do the thing our way, and we're going to make this thing work. We're going to make this ship go. And that's exactly what he did. So there's no way now that you don't have any way to have to wait. You can get your players that you know that you've got, and then you can get in that portal, and then you can pull your players and build a culture. And it sounds like to me that's what it is. Jeffrey, when you hear all these things about Coach Summerall, and we're actually going to get him on the show, so I'm excited about that. How do you feel? Because you're an older guy. And I'm not joking with you right now. I'm just calling a spade a spade. But you like the old style coach whistle. You make reference to tough physical football a lot, and that's so you like Summerall.
I mean, I like Summerall. At first, I didn't think that he was a better pickup than the Auburn coach, Golish. Golish, yeah. But no, I mean, I think he's coming out. He sounds tough. He's going to hold these people to a higher standard.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm kind of getting convinced on. I'm like, how are these kids going to react?
Yeah.
Are they going to step it up? We're going to have to see.
Well, buddy, thank you so much for being with me.
Great.
I love it. And thanks so much to our guests. Thank you, Jeffrey. Have a good weekend. Bone Crusher, thank you so much for getting us back online. Thank you, guys. We've done it. Great week. We will be back ready to go on Monday. Got a lot to share with you. You've been listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida. We'll see you Monday, guys.
It's the PCB Hobby Takeover with Todd. Mondays at 5:20 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
That is a very high-end card and very rare.
Todd talks about coins, trading cards, collectibles, and the amazing story